Let's talk about the New York Times. They've got an article in the business section, and the story is with Jim Herd saying that in order to try to compete with the WWF, the WCW is going to have to become more quote unquote fairy tale like. And the article is headlined by the line, "This isn't real." And it gets some heat from some folks within the NWA. Of course, at this point, I think Vince McMahon has already gone on record, but still, we're trying to hang on to what we can. What do you remember of the blowback of this interview with others in the wrestling business, and specifically the assertion from Herd that in order to compete with that, we would have to be more fairy tale like?
So we have to copy better. We have to
Yeah.
try to imitate better. We can't be original, and sell what wrestling has always been sold on. That was athleticism. We talked a lot about Flair and Steamboat, Flair and Funk. You won't find any two better illustrations of athleticism. I mean, they beat the shit out of each other. The match never died. The crowd was in the palm of their hand. You got maestros in there that've got a lot of hit records. I think, if anything, we could have gone longer with it, Flair and Funk, because just them doing promos on television was phenomenal. I love those times. So most of us had a philosophical difference with Mr. Herd's philosophy of what it was going to take to become successful in promoting wrestling. And so that piece in the New York Times did not play well, and it showed where his head was. So now we've got to become more gimmicky, in his view, have more characters that, whether they're good or bad, at least they're a character. It just was, hunchbacks. Well, they can't be pinned because they are hunchbacked, and you can't get their shoulder blades on the canvas. Then I would say, and I remember saying this, I got cussed out like a dog. I said, well, how about a submission? So in other words, he's saying they can't be beat, which is not a good deal anyway. Even Andre got beat occasionally. So it wasn't well received, Connie. It wasn't well received because a lot of guys that we've talked about here today on this show, it's been a good show, is they wanted to wrestle. They wanted to fight. Yeah. They didn't want to do ballet and have like the ninth grade drama class. And that's kind of what it was going to turn into, it looked like, at one time.
Well, the TV's doing well. You're actually beating the WWF cable shows by 3 full points. So you've got a lot of momentum coming into this. We mentioned 7,500 fans on Thanksgiving night. The Road Warriors re-signing, really high ratings for Flair and Muta. And then this tournament concept, Meltzer says, is really going to be put to the test because the ratings are the highest they've been in a long time. And Starrcade's even being advertised on CNN. Really one of the first times we would see some of that synergy from the other branches of the Turner organization.
That always shocked me, Connie. I'm sorry, excuse me, but it always shocked me that some ambitious Turnerite didn't facilitate more cross-promotional opportunities. They have, I suggested this in a meeting one time. Can we not use unsold inventory to run some spots on some of these other Turner properties? Headline News, CNN, Cartoon Network, wherever there's a television and they got a show, we should be a part of it in some shape, form, or fashion at key times. And if nothing else, you do cool promos for tune-in. So I thought that was always underachieved. We left a lot of money on the table on that deal.
I want to ask you about just the tournament concept with seeing the same wrestlers multiple times on a show. I bring this up because Bruce Pritchard has told us that one of the things he noticed when he first joined the WWF is they would do just marathon television tapings. They might do, 4 or 5 hours worth of matches to tape for TV, but they would always tease, don't forget Hulk Hogan's going to be here. Hulk Hogan would work his dark match. He would go on last, but that's how they kept people there.
Right.
And even after it felt like, man, this crowd is burnt out, they're dead, boy, they'd come alive for the Hulkster. Once you've seen, like, if you're there to see Ric Flair or you're there to see Sting or the Road Warriors, you're going to see them multiple times. Does that affect the way the crowd reacts or responds in your opinion?
It does, Conrad, if what they saw as an example of the work of these individuals didn't hold up. In other words, if they were good matches, there's no reason not to stay tuned. And it was a pay-per-view to start with. So you already paid for it. Why not watch it? So I don't know. I don't think that, I mean, we're supposed to be telling a story here. And we have a tournament ongoing where every match has a significance. So to me, there was a foundation set for that thing, and that was what we were hanging our hat on, so to speak. But I don't remember any of those matches laying eggs. I think some guys were, I don't know if everybody had their heart in it because of the fact they might have to do a favor, do a job. What a negative thing to say. That's so outdated. It's not even funny. But anyway, we're supposed to be telling this story. We got a logical conclusion. We have a scoreboard. So we've facilitated all we can within the format. Now, was it the right format, the round robin? Hell, I don't know. It was my idea. So, it was crazy.
What else is crazy is that we're going to try to pretend that Ole Anderson's a babyface. We mentioned Arn is coming back to make the save for Rick. The other member of the Horsemen is Sting. Sting's a huge babyface, as is Flair, because, well, we got Muta to play heel here. But Ole Anderson as a babyface, that just feels freaking weird.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I don't recall Ole embracing that role. His natural personality, of which he should be booked, and he was very successful in his natural personality, is surly. He's a bully, all that good stuff. And so, no, I don't even know how we got to that point. I guess just the group was a baby faces. I don't know, but it just didn't click to me. It still doesn't.